Welcome to Calm, Sleepy Tales, where gentle stories invite you to relax, unwind, and drift into peaceful dreams. In tonight's cozy tale, we journey with Eloise, a kind-hearted young woman, as she follows a quiet dream to open her very own cafe. Settle in with a warm drink, breathe deeply, and let the story carry you into calm and comfort. The Forgotten Book. The morning had started like any other at Eloise's cozy cafe. The scent of cinnamon rolls and freshly ground coffee swirled together in the air, mingling with the quiet hum of conversation and the occasional clink of teaspoons against ceramic mugs. Rain had come in during the night, leaving behind glistening cobblestones and a crisp breeze that danced through the open front door. Eloise was in her favourite corner of the shop, reorganising the bookshelf tucked just behind the reading nook. A few novels had toppled over in the night, perhaps from the breeze, or maybe just the shifting weight of old bindings giving way. As she bent down to realign them, her fingers brushed against a rougher spine, one she didn't recognize. Hidden behind a row of oversized art books was a slim, leather-bound volume, its cover faded with age and a bit dusty at the edges. Curious, Eloise drew the book out and brushed it off with her apron. It was a well-worn copy of Wuthering Heights. But it wasn't the title that caught her attention. It was the scribbles in the margins. Delicate cursive handwriting curled beside nearly every paragraph. Some were reflective notes about the characters, while others veered into deeply personal territory. Fragments of memories, reflections on love, even recipes scrolled into the end papers. Blackberry tart, 1 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons lemon zest. He always said it tasted like summer. Eloise sat down with the book and flipped through it slowly, captivated. It was as though someone had written a secret diary in the margins of this novel, quietly layering their life onto the pages of Bronte's story. She spent the next hour thumbing through every page, heart swelling with curiosity and tenderness. She took the book to the counter and showed it to Mr. Alcott, the elderly gentleman who had become a regular since she first opened. He took one look at the notes and sighed deeply. "Well, I'll be," he said, adjusting his glasses. This handwriting looks a lot like May Bennett's. She used to be the librarian here years ago. I think she's in her 80s now. Lives in the little blue house just past the rose garden in Rosewood Lane. Eloise blinked. Do you think she might want it back? Mr. Alcott smiled kindly. If it's hers, she'd be touched. That woman loved her books, but she loved her memories even more. That afternoon, Eloise bundled the book in brown paper and tied it with twine, like a gift. She walked the few blocks to Rosewood Lane, past blooming hedges and moss-covered garden walls. The blue cottage sat tucked beneath a large elm tree, its yard filled with wind chimes and clay pots of herbs. Eloise paused to gather her thoughts, then gently knocked. The door creaked open to reveal a petite woman with bright eyes and a cardigan that looked older than the book itself. Can I help you, dear? Eloise smiled nervously. Are you May Bennett? The woman nodded. I think I found something of yours. May I come in? May stepped aside and motioned her in. The house smelled of lavender and old wood. Teacups were already set on a tray. It seemed May had been expecting company, though perhaps not Eloise. Eloise gently placed the wrapped book on the table and untied the twine. As the paper fell away, May gasped. My heavens! Her fingers trembled as she opened the cover. She turned each page slowly, as though seeing her past play out in sepia ink. I thought this was lost. Years ago, I loaned it to someone who never returned it. I had made that copy my own. Look here. This was the tart I baked for Harold when he came back from the war. And here, this line always makes me cry. She looked up, her eyes glassy with emotion. You brought this back to me. Eloise nodded softly. It was tucked behind some books at the cafe. I didn't know what it was at first, but the notes, they were beautiful. I had to find you. May wiped her eyes and chuckled. Come, sit. I'll make us some tea. You must stay. The two women sat for hours, sipping Earl Grey and paging through the book. May shared stories behind each note. First dances, picnics in the countryside, rainy afternoons spent with poetry. Her memories flowed like a gentle stream, and Eloise soaked them in. Before she left, May grasped her hand. You remind me of myself at your age. Bookish, curious, kind. Thank you for returning a piece of my heart. Eloise smiled, her chest full of something warm and sweet. Would you ever like to visit the cafe again? I'd love for you to see where I found it. May grinned. Only if you make the blackberry tart. The next week, May arrived at the cafe with her book tucked under her arm and a spark in her eye. Eloise had prepared blackberry tart from the scribbled recipe, and the scent filled the space like a memory rekindled. May asked Eloise to keep the book in the cafe so that the cafe visitors could see it and understand the power of memories before she sat near the window, telling stories to anyone who would listen. It wasn't long before she became part of the cafe family, just like Mr. Alcott. And the book, once forgotten, now had a place of honour on the highest shelf, displayed in a small glass case with a note. To May, whose life was poetry, whose love was literature. The story of the forgotten book rippled through the community, reminding everyone that words could connect, comfort, and bring people together, even across generations. And, as always, in the cosy warmth of Eloise's cafe, there was tea, kindness, and the scent of cinnamon in the air. Thank you for joining us at Calm Sleepy Tales. If you enjoyed this gentle visit to the Little Leaf Café, we invite you to return for more quiet moments and cozy stories. Until next time, may your heart be full and your dreams be sweet.